Yo, what is up guys? It's the Goblin and welcome back to another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the operator mod for the GKS, which is the quad shot, and basically because it turns this fully automatic SMG into quad shot, a 4-round burst weapon, as well as giving it extended damage ranges and some other stuff. This is a really good operator mod, and I do think it's a way to take a GKS and increase the time to kill, because that's probably the worst thing about the GKS. This gun has no problems with utility or recoil. It's just more the fact of the time to kill, and quad shot really will help you fix that by increasing the fire rate and turning it into burst mode, as well as giving other benefits. And I really do think this is the best way to rock the GKS as of right now. I'll give you the class setup, tips and tricks and everything about it in today's video. This gameplay, by the way, 85-2 here on a quick little domination on slums. So obviously, you know, to go 85-2, you have to have a pretty good gun and class it up to do that, and of course the streaks have to go in as well. So if you guys could smack a like on this video, I would really appreciate it. You guys have been killing it on all of my videos, so let's go for 1,500 likes again. That would be absolutely incredible if you could hit that, and of course subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here and you haven't subscribed already. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. So operator mods, when it comes down to it, SMGs, every single SMG except the MX9 actually has an operator mod available, and this one for the GKS is pretty unique because it makes a burst SMG, which we don't really see too often. The Chickum is the one that comes to mind from Black Ops 2, but burst SMGs have never really been popular in Call of Duty, and even when they've been in the game, they were never really the best stuff in the game. Now what this does, the official description, GKS quad shot, it converts the weapon to fire a 4-round burst, also increases damage fall off ranges. So that is another huge thing. By increasing your damage fall off ranges, it means basically because of this weapon, it is an SMG, the GKS, and it kills within 6 to 8 shots. But when your damage ranges are increased, it means at farther ranges you're going to get those 6 and 7 shot kills instead of 8 shot kills. That's basically what that means, and that is absolutely huge because this gun shooting it shoots four rounds per burst, right? And if it's 6 to 8 shot kill, if you are landing, and it's going to be a 6 shot kill up close, 7 shot kill at that medium range. If you are landing those bursts, you can kill in pretty much 2 bursts consistently with this gun, which is really amazing. And it really does remind me a lot about similar to the ABR repeater, which I just recently made a video on, but more of an SMG form. And that's basically what it does. So quad shot, you can rely pretty much to get standard 2 burst kills, and it also increases the time to kill because it increases your fire rate. It almost doubles the fire rate when you throw on the quad shot. This gun normally has around a 661 round per minute, are basically fire rate, and when you put quad shot and turn it into a burst, it has around a 1200. Now to put that in perspective, other burst weapons in this game, the ABR and the Swordfish, both are in the 1100. So this is actually a faster firing burst weapon than those. You got to remember that the ABR kills in 4 to 5 shots, the Swordfish kills in 5 to 6 shots, and the GKS kills in 6 to 8 shots. So it's it is different there because it is an SMG. So just because the fire rate is good, that puts it into perspective. Now what really works well with this gun is I think it works amazing to turn this one specifically into a burst weapon, because the GKS doesn't have too much recoil, and it also has a gun that, being an SMG, a lot of the assault rifles, tactical rifles and stuff like that are just so slow paced with the ADS move speed, the ADS transition speeds, and all the nerfs that have happened to them. But SMGs in this game are still very smooth to play with. You sprint at a very nice speed, your aim down sights is nice, your strafe speed is nice without using stock, and you really don't have to worry about too much when it comes down to that. So when it goes to a class setup with this GKS, I think that the class setup is what makes this so strong, and quad shot really is helpful because the biggest problem with this gun, like I said, is the time to kill, and by putting that on there, of course, your time to kill is going to be a lot quicker. When you have that, your time to kill is going to be around the time to kill of something like a SOG 9mm or a Cordite once you equip that quad shot. Plus you can be a lot more accurate than those guns because this gun doesn't have too much recoil. And when it comes down to a class setup, basically what I rock with this is it's a really cool class setup because you get the aspect of having a burst with the mobility of an SMG and also the strength of the 2 attachments that I rock, which I'll throw the whole class setup up on the screen right now. The 2 attachments that I rock with it, well, of course I rock a red dot because that's just personal preference. I mean, you could, honestly, with this class setup, feel free to slap off the red dot or the sight and put on a perk 3 dead silence or something. That just comes down to personal preference. But the main thing here is the quad shot and then the grip 1 and the grip 2. Now, I'm not really running the grips to control the recoil because this gun doesn't have very much recoil, like if any at all. What I'm running it for grip 2 is that reduced flinch, which sure it has been nerfed and isn't as strong as it was, you know, at the start of the game with the ICR. Grip 1 and grip 2, you're basically unstoppable. But having that reduced flinch with a gun that is a burst weapon and a gun that has good mobility and you can rely on really does make this a crazy setup. And I find that this setup works great on a map like Summit, a map like Slums, where you're going to be playing up close, so SMGs are nice to have, but you still have to win gunfights at range sometimes. And I find that that is something that is super nice to have, because if you have something like a Spitfire with Wildfire, you pretty much have no hope at range, or even the Cordite, you have, you know, less hope at range. Cordite can do good at medium range, but with this one, you are good. You can even win gunfights at long range over assault rifles. Of course, that's not going to be the strength of this weapon, and I wouldn't recommend challenging those on too strongly, but that's basically what you can do. So class up is grip 1, grip 2, quad shot. Device, I personally run the ComSec device with it because this is an SMG, but it's really not played like a traditional fully auto SMG playstyle. It's played more of, you know, a burst SMG, which is getting up in their face, but also playing it, you know, tactically and making sure you're converting on those kills. And then when it comes down to perks, I run Flak Jacket and Gung Ho. Flak Jacket I find on Slums that it's an easy map where a lot of people like to, you know, the area that I like to play and know your playstyle going into certain maps. I like to play Slums around the middle of the map and sort of rotate to the angle which they are at and take the kills as they sort of, you know, are rushing to me and coming to me. And I find that it's really easy to get grenaded off of that middle statue, and that's something that a lot of people will do because it is a tough head glitch. So I find that if they can't beat you in a straight up gunfight, they'll start throwing grenades or whatever. So Flak Jacket is nice to have, and Flak Jacket is just honestly nice to have on SMGs where you're going to get, you know, more up close and personal, and you have more of a, you know, chance of running into a mesh mine or dealing with, you know, different explosives and stuff like that. And then Gung Ho, of course. So overall, do I think the GKS quad shot is the best way to rock with the GKS? Because that's really what matters. And a lot of these guns with operator mods, some of the guns I think that the operator mods are not even worth the time of day to use. Some of the guns I think the operator mods are must use to make the weapon usable or good. And some of them, you know, you can do either or. Something like the Titan, it's great with the Oppressor, but it's still great without it. You know, same with the Maddox. It's great with Echo Fire, it's great without it. When it comes down to this weapon, I think it is good both ways. However, I find that a lot of gunfights can be frustrating when using it without the quad shot, because at the start of this game, this was like a really strong SMG and probably the best SMG in the game. I called it the best SMG at first, but over time and just, you know, with all the different changes and buffs to different SMGs, I don't think this is the best SMG anymore. I think that the SOG 9mm is, and I think it's because of that time to kill. But I think running the quad shot really does fix that problem, and if you don't mind running a burst SMG, can be a very strong SMG setup to use. And personally, from now on, if I am going to be using the GKS, I'm going to be sticking with this class up. The only thing that I would change probably would be, like I said, take off that reflex sight and throw on dead silence if you want to, or even, you know, do something else with it, because this is a gun that it honestly doesn't have that bad of default sights, the GKS, but some people like them, some people don't. And also, if you have the Damascus variant, which is like the unicorn variant, that one also has a different default sight, so you can, you know, sort of get your preference if you have that one unlocked, which I believe is at like level 105 of the Black Ops pass for this first season or event or whatever they call it. So basically that's how it works. It's all down to personal preference, and I think that, you know, we need more variants in this game, more variants coming out hopefully, you know, in the future, like World War II. And operator mods, I think operator mods are one of the coolest things that were added with Black Ops 4, and I would like it that as long as operator mods are balanced and not overpowered, and, you know, they give you strengths as well as give you weaknesses. Of course, the main weakness is, like something with this, there's not too many weaknesses to using it, The main weakness is it costs 3 points to actually equip, because you have to equip the wild card, which takes up 1, and then 2 to actually equip the operator mod. So I would like to see, like, by the end of this game's life cycle, a lot of guns having multiple operator mods and multiple variants and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure we will get multiple variants, but operator mods is one thing that I think that really keeps the game fresh, especially from a content creator perspective. And I think that having, maybe new weapons, obviously when new weapons come, operator mods, I think every weapon should at least have 1 or 2 operator mod options available, and hopefully, with updates, that's something that we get in the future. This game, of course, is still fairly new. I mean, it's been out for what, almost 2 months now, a month and a half, somewhere around there, and I'm just excited because we're getting into the holiday season in December. Hopefully they'll drop in some new stuff, and hopefully it is good. 85-2, pretty good stuff. GKS quad shot, definitely I recommend to give this class up a go. Check out some other vids, drop a like, and subscribe if you guys new, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm out. Peace.